Set it and forget it. Gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get lean, but I'm also going to describe and almost brainwash you into believing that you only need to get lean once, right? The title of this video, Set It and Forget It. And that 99.9% of staying lean year-round, at Christmas, on holiday vacation, during the 4th of July, when you're traveling globally in America, all comes down to how good you are at maintenance. Stick around to the very end because I'm going to break down, this is you. I'm going to break down why you only need to get lean once to stay lean forever and how to do it on the back. I'm going to flip the whiteboard over and explain everything on the back. So please, gentlemen, stick around. This is going to be one of the most important videos I've done in this small series up until this point. So, set it and forget it. This is you. Okay? One of these guys is you. Do you know which one? I'm sure you're reading this. Don't read it yet. I'm going to read it. This is you, though. You're not happy. You got these geek glasses on, You got some belly fat, some back fat. And you're not happy with ultimately how you look, despite putting in effort. So there are only a few guys, because guys, I've coached hundreds, over 1,000 men at American Stallion. There's only a certain type of archetype, tech, whatever. There's only a certain type of guy out there who's struggling with this stuff. The gym guy, who's going to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week, but with no plan, no proper split. You're not following any app or guidance from a coach or a mentor. You're just cherry picking based off what you see here, what you see on another YouTube video, what you see on Instagram, what you saw on TikTok, what some other guy who has decent results in your gym, you looked over when you're doing your, oh man, he's doing that. Man. No plan, no nutrition protocol, right? You're just winging it. You're eating clean, but there's a difference between eating clean and eating correct, as I've said. And then the biggest one is you take the weekends off. So during the week, you're a hustler, bro. I'll give it to you. I do see many of you trying very hard in the gym during the course of the week. We get a ton of comments, DMs, questions on both YouTube and Instagram. By the way, check me out on American Stallion on my Instagram. You guys are all working hard. You're putting in the work 3, 4 times a week, but you're taking the weekends off. So that's guy number 1. Gym guy, 3 to 4x a week. The next guy, maybe this one is you. You were 25, 30% body fat. You've gotten down to 18. Congrats, not bad, but not 10%, not 9%, not that impressive overall. You're still not going to see your abs. You're not going to have your jawline, your shoulders, vascularity. You're still too fat. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just what it is. You just have too much body fat still. You might have decent muscle because you've been grinding it out and you lost a decent amount of fat. You might have muscle, but you still don't look impressive because you're still 18 to 20% body fat. That's guy number 2. So guy number 1, guy number 2. Guy number 3, the dead zone guy. We've all been here. I've been here post-college, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whenever that was. I went to Mass Maritime. I don't know if there's anyone from Massachusetts here watching. I went to Mass Maritime. I'm a Mass Maritime alumni. I studied marine engineering. The dead zone guy, when I got out of college, I was kind of like skinny fat. I still had decent muscle, but I wasn't that impressive looking. And I wasn't, I was 17, 15%. I was under 18, but that 15, 16% body fat guy, all right, I was still going to the gym, but I just didn't look that good. The dead zone guy, because I wasn't taking this seriously, and I was also drinking on the weekends and screwing up. So I was stuck in this dead zone, skinny fat kind of position, and I wasn't really even taking the gym that seriously. So I wasn't really a gym guy. I kind of took a year off after college to get my mind right, get my job, which I later quit. That's a whole nother video. And then there's the drifters and the rebounders. right? Maybe there's a few of you that want to get in shape. You've never tried it, or you used to be in shape a long time ago. You start, you fall off. You start, you fall off. You start, you rebound. So the drifter and rebound guys, and that's number 3. So remember, good gentlemen, this is you. We're going to fix this. So hang around to the end, because I'm going to teach you how to set it and forget it. Okay, so the core principle of how do we get lean and stay lean forever, because we only want to do this once, and you only need to do it once, and once is enough. I forget there was a great saying, but getting lean is fairly difficult. I will admit, for myself, it was fairly difficult when I was learning this stuff 20 years ago, and I've coached hundreds of guys, and some of them do struggle. We help them through it. Right? We hold them accountable. We do weekly performance review sessions, vitality optimization sessions. We have doctors, MDs at American Stallion up in Boston. But you have to be realistic that it's going to be a bit challenging in the beginning. But staying lean is easy. Once you crack the code, gentlemen, it's a joke. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, how is the fitness industry a $60 or $80 billion industry? How? It's so easy. But then I remember, back when I was this guy or you, getting lean is difficult. But I'm going to make it simple. We're going to simplify it here on the back side of this whiteboard, because staying lean is easy. 99.9% of staying lean is maintenance. Okay? Is maintenance. How good are you at staying in maintenance? Are you a fitness samurai? If you're not good at maintenance, you're not a samurai, and you're not going to be lean. You're not going to stay lean. So you need to understand that 99.9% of staying lean, no cuts, no bulks, is about maintenance and metabolic health. Once you're here, once you're metabolically healthy, once you have maintenance mastered, it is impossible to lose this. I can go out and, not that I would, I'm extreme, I could go out and have pizza if I wanted to. I don't, because it's processed and it's junk, but I could go out and have pizza. I could go out and eat a bunch of ice cream, chocolate, desserts out at Mastro's or one of my favorite steakhouses with my family, and nothing would change, because I'm metabolically healthy and I'm a master of maintenance. Samurai, right? Samurai status. And that's what makes life fun. In another video earlier we talked about, remember, it's only going to work for you if the system is sustainable and fun. If it's not sustainable and fun, and your nutrition protocol isn't sustainable and fun, and your training program isn't sustainable and fun, and when you wake up in the mirror, you don't see a six-pack and veins, it's not sustainable and fun. And if it's not sustainable and fun, guess what? You're not going to stick to it. You're not going to stick to it because you're not having fun. I understand fitness is supposed to be a little challenging, and I get it, but overall, we want this to be fun because you already have a bunch of other stuff going on in your life that's more important. Family, kids, wife, business, important career, hobbies, church, your community, farm. So we need to make sure that it's all sustainable and fun, gentlemen. So now let's get into, I hope you can see this, lean is law. Lean is law. What do I mean by that? Well, it starts with your metabolic health. You have to be metabolically healthy to stay lean all year round and to get lean. When we're getting lean once, we are correcting metabolic health. We are increasing testosterone, hormones, and this is how you're going to achieve an amazing BC body composition on autopilot, eating more, not less. We'll get into it over here. Because we don't want to be doing endless cuts and bulks. Remember, like I said, it has to be sustainable and fun. No one wants to restrict calories all the time, get relatively lean, and then bulk back up just to put on a quarter of a pound of muscle. Because most of your gains, most of you guys are stage 1, stage 2 adaptation. I'm stage 3, which is a hierarchy of, how long you've more or less been doing fitness and lifting weights. Most of you are stage 1, stage 2. Once you get into stage 2, later stage 2, beginning of stage 3, they'll say you need a bulk to gain more muscle. Yeah, but I don't want to lose. I already look good. So maybe I gain a quarter of a pound of muscle, but then when I cut back down, not to mention I'm in this fat stage for 12 months. Fuck that. I don't want to be fat. I'm 34. I want to look good and sharp all year round. I got shit to do, right? I got places to be and people to see. I want to make sure I look sharp and dangerous all year round. So I don't have time to cut down, to bulk back up, look fat for 12 months, to come back here, and then that quarter of a pound, it goes away anyways when you cut. So don't do that. So lean is law. And you're only going to get lean and stay lean if you correct metabolic health, testosterone, hormones, BC. This all falls under metabolic health. So how do we correct and improve metabolic health? I'm about to explain. It's very simple. What do we do? What to do? Number 1, tell yourself the truth. Hey, Steven's right. He knows more than me. I know nothing. I've gotten decent results, but he's far superior. He's a samurai. Maybe I'm eating clean, but maybe I'm not eating correct. He's right. Maybe I should try this animal-based nutrition stuff and have my calories and macros adjusted and timed to my training. Maybe I don't know how to manipulate carbs and fat. Maybe I'm not sleeping optimally. Maybe I'm not metabolically healthy. So tell yourself the truth. Then decide that you want to go all in and change. It doesn't have to be with us. However, in the description of this video, I will put an application link if you do want to apply to work one-on-one with me and my team of samurais. And then you just have to commit. Because realistically, it takes time. How long? How long? 6 to 12 months, depending on where you are to get here. Once you're here, now you're here. It's easy, right? We talked about in the front. Getting lean is fairly difficult, but once you're lean, it's very, very, very easy because you are now metabolically healthy. Your basal metabolic rate is up. Your testosterone, your hormones. Everything is working as God intended or biology intended, whatever you believe in. So that now you can effortlessly just live your life and it is sustainable and fun and you just stay lean. So animal-based nutrition, 6 to 12 months, calories, macros. You have to understand your calories and your macros. Most of you are eating too low. Too low. If you're eating less than 2,200 calories as a man who goes to the gym, gets his steps, and has a full-time business, job, career, whatever, you're eating too low and you're going to become the rebound guy. Remember on the front? Rebound guy? That's going to be you if you're eating less than 2,200 calories. You should be eating no less when you're cutting if you're metabolically healthy and or becoming metabolically healthy, 2,600 calories, 28. I can cut at 3,000. 3,000. You're saying there, I've never eaten 3,000 calories ever on my nutrition plan. Well, there you go, bro. You're not metabolically healthy. And I'm not that young. I'm halfway to 40, So animal-based nutrition, calories, macros, timing them properly around your training, how to manipulate carbs and fat, when to pull carbs up, when to pull carbs down, when to pull fat up, when to pull fat down, the percentages, right? I like for protein, I always set protein to target goal body weight for our clients. So I'm 180 pounds. For me, 180 pounds. Set it and forget it. That's it. And then for fat, I like, depending on what style of training I'm doing, right now I'm training for Ironman, so my fat's a bit lower, right? 20 to 30% of my total calories. For someone who's just weightlifting, 25 to 35%. And then the remainder of those calories comes from carbohydrates. How many times are you training a day? How many times are you training a week? What is the intensity of that training? Are we doing zone 2? Are we doing threshold work? Are we doing sub-threshold work? How intense are your weightlifting sessions? Are you doing 1 rep maxes on compound lifts because you're trying to put an insane amount of muscle on? Or are you just doing basic progressive overloading because you're a bit older and you got to make sure you can walk into the office later and you just want to look good, not necessarily be the strongest who also looks good? Because that's a whole nother carbohydrate breakdown. So I can't really specifically give you the exact recommended carbohydrates. I can give you a general rule or general guideline. If you are someone who is metabolically healthy, and already lean, this is different from cutting. 1 to 4, remember this, 5 to 7, 8 to 12 times your body weight in kilograms once you are lean and metabolically healthy. These are the carbohydrates times kilograms. One of you is going to say, well, we're in America, bro. We use pounds. I know, but this formula only works when you multiply it in kilograms. Am I making sense? So anyways, this is for these guys or someone like me. For you who's trying to cut, you're likely going to be somewhere in that 1 to 4. Most likely. Unless you're training for ultras or Ironman or a marathon, you might be a bit higher when you're cutting, but most likely not. You don't want to go too low carb. So, reasonable timeline. Like we said, 6 to 12 months. Be patient. You have to understand that there's a lot of stuff inside the human body that's happening, that's going on that we don't understand. Well, Huberman said, I don't give a fuck what Huberman says. I've never seen him with his shirt off. I've never seen him training for Ironman. I've never seen him run 100 miles. I've never seen him deadlift. He's in good shape, but he's not in my kind of shape. He's not in the shape that our clients get into, our elite clients. So I don't really give a fuck what Huberman says. He's just reading off a teleprompter anyways. I like the guy who's out in the field, who's actually doing it. And he's not really doing it per se. And he doesn't even actually know everything that's going on. No one knows, bro. No one knows. There's so much stuff going on inside the body, so be patient. Correcting metabolic health can be challenging because there's a lot of stuff going on inside our body that we just don't know. And then you got to be consistent with it. Once you told yourself the truth, decided, committed, animal-based nutrition, calories, macros, reasonable timeline, 6 to 12 months, hold on, patience, correcting metabolic health. Now you need to be the Mecca. Consistent to include weekends. What's your sleep like on the weekends? Are you getting bombed? Are you doing drugs, marijuana? How focused are you? How consistent are you? How bad do you want it? For me, I wanted it bad, guys. Like, I couldn't sleep. I wanted to be ripped and in shape so bad that it's all I focused on. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, and we simplify it for you at American Stallion, and that's what I'm doing right here. That's what our YouTube channel is all about. It's about simplifying it for you. But you have to be consistent. Then, once you're now at this point lean and metabolically healthy, I'm going to circle it again. Now, we can reverse diet out and get you up to 28, 3,000, 32, 3,500 calories at maintenance because you're now metabolically healthy and you have a ton of muscle, tests is up, hormones, BC, and now you can just eat and have fun with, as long as it's within the animal-based nutrition parameters. No processed foods, food from the land, eating in congruence with nature, right? An evolutionary diet is super important. And then once we've effectively reverse dieted out, you're metabolically healthy, you're lean, you never have to do this stuff ever again because you're healthy. And now, bro, 2,800, 3,000 calories, which is where I want most of my clients when they finish. That's a lot of calories. Like even if you cheat or binge a little bit, that'll probably bring you right around here. Your metabolism can handle it. It can handle it now because you are, circling it again, metabolically healthy. So that's all I've got for today, gentlemen. I hope this was helpful. As always, leave a comment below if you have a question. I like to answer all questions and as fast as I possibly can. And also check us out on Instagram at American Stallion. And hopefully soon I will see you at the top.